UK, US, and EU have accused China of carrying out a major cyber attack earlier this year. The attack targeted Microsoft Exchange servers, affecting at least 30,000 organizations globally. Western security services believe it signals a shift from a targeted espionage campaign to a smash-and-grab raid, leading to concerns Chinese cyber behavior is escalating. The Chinese Ministry of State Security, MSS, has also been accused of wider espionage activity and a broader pattern of reckless behavior. China has previously denied allegations of hacking and says it opposes all forms of cybercrime. The unified callout of Beijing shows the gravity with which this case has been taken. Western intelligence officials say aspects are markedly more serious than anything they have seen before. It began in January when hackers from a Chinese-linked group known as Hafnium began exploiting a vulnerability in Microsoft Exchange. They used the vulnerability to insert backdoors into systems which they could return to later. The UK said the attack was likely to enable large-scale espionage, including the acquisition of personal information and intellectual property. It was mainly carried out against specific systems which aligned with Hafnium's previous targets, such as defense contractors, think tanks, and universities. Western security sources believe Hafnium obtained advanced knowledge that Microsoft intended to patch or close the vulnerability, and so shared it with other China-based groups to maximize the benefit before it became obsolete. It was the recklessness of the decision to spread the vulnerability that helped drive the decision to call out the Chinese publicly, officials say. Microsoft went public about the vulnerability on March 2nd and offered a patch to close it. At this point, more hackers around the world had realized its value and piled in. Around 250,000 systems globally were left exposed, often small or medium-sized businesses and organizations, and at least 30,000 were compromised. The UK Foreign Office said the Chinese government had ignored repeated calls to end its reckless campaign, instead allowing state-backed actors to increase the scale of their attacks and act recklessly when caught. The White House said it reserved the right to take additional actions against China over its cyber activities. EU, meanwhile, said the hack had resulted in security risks and significant economic loss for our government institutions and private companies. But Western spies are still struggling to understand why Chinese behavior has changed. If the hackers were authorized to escalate, it would suggest a step change in what the country is willing to do and raise the fear that they no longer care about being caught. That is partly why so many governments have joined together to signal their concerns. Japan, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand have joined NATO in issuing a statement in solidarity. Well, that's it for the video. TheGuillen Reports, signing off.